On November 11, 2013, Jack Wright was named the 29th head football coach at Northwest Mississippi Community College. Coach Wright is no stranger to the Northwest football program, having spent 5 seasons as the offensive coordinator from 2008 to 2012. He is excited to be back at Northwest as the head coach.
I couldn't be happier that I'm back. It's a place, an area that I love. Close to where I grew up. I mean, I used to come to Northwest games on Thursday night when I was in high school. So just imagine myself in this chair and being where a legend like Bobby Ray Franklin coached, and to be able to follow Coach Woods, who's another man that I admire a lot, to be in the same chair that they've been in and just be considered among those names is definitely a privilege.
Northwest President Dr. Gary Lee Spears knows he has the right man for the job.
I think everyone associated with the program is excited about Jack Wright being our head football coach. This is his first opportunity as a head coach, but he has tremendous experience at different levels, high school and JUCO and four-year colleges, and so all of us are extremely excited to have him back to lead the Rangers.
Coach Wright has had many mentors on his journey to become the head coach at Northwest. Perhaps his greatest mentor is his father, Willis Wright, a longtime high school football coach in Mississippi who was inducted into the Mississippi Coaches Hall of Fame in 1999.
I keep him on speed dial. You know, I mean, we talk a lot. He's been to a couple of our summer sessions and watched. His advice is something that I treasure, and I definitely take it into consideration.
Jack has many fond memories of growing up in a household of a football coach.
Well, I just didn't really know a whole lot different. You know, when you're a kid and you grow up with a certain lifestyle and your parents are a certain way, then that's just the way things are. And so to say that it was different or it was unique or outstanding or something, it was just the way it was for me. It's going to football practices, going to football games, being on the sideline with my dad on Friday nights, that was just the culture I was in and the lifestyle that I grew up in, and I thought everybody did that. You know, I was a little older before I realized it was a little bit of a special childhood.
For his part, Willis Wright couldn't be prouder of his son.
Yeah, I'm just very excited about the season. Glad Jack's going to get an opportunity. He's worked extremely hard, and I think got a great coaching staff. They brought in some really good players.
After graduating from Arkansas State, Coach Wright took a job in business. It didn't take him long to realize that he wanted to get back into the game that he loved.
I'd always find myself scribbling offensive sets and defensive alignments and things like that, and so I wouldn't miss a game on television at all during that time, and just became a true fan of all levels of football when I wasn't around it, and just knew that I wasn't going to be able to live without it.
His coaching career took him to North Delta, Meridian High School, and Millsaps before he found his way to Northwest. In 2008, he was named the offensive coordinator for the Rangers. Under his guidance, Northwest enjoyed huge success.
I knew I wanted to go throw the football, so I went and visited some people that were good at throwing the football. And when I was at Millsaps, we were kind of known for throwing it around and having a pass-heavy offense. And so just taking a lot of what we did at Millsaps under Shannon Dawson there and Coach Dubose and kind of adding my own little spin to it here and add a couple little things in the running game is kind of where we started.
Now as the head coach at Northwest, he has surrounded himself with an outstanding coaching staff.
Everybody that's here was just an absolute no-brainer decision to try to get to come back here. You know, starting at Coach Oakley, he's the holdover from last year's staff. He was an absolute no-brainer with his background here at the school, with his history of teaching wide receivers and his ability to recruit to Northwest. And we brought back Coach Jones, who's another guy that has done a phenomenal job here in his previous stint and has done an incredible job in recruiting this year, bringing some really good big guys in here to play offensive line for us. So those two guys, you know, they hopped on board right away, and those were no-brainer decisions. And I was smiling on the inside when both of those guys said yes. And on defense, you know, I knew Benji Parker was a guy that I was going to go after, and I'm tickled that I did. Tickled he came along, and he's joined by Coach Jonathan Webster, who I've known for a while now. Recruited against Jonathan, which is the main reason that I really wanted him. I knew he was really good with his personal relationships with the recruits we're going to be after. And then Travis Macon was a guy I didn't know a whole lot about, who came extremely highly recommended by a lot of people, and he turned out to be just invaluable in the recruiting process. And he's also doing a phenomenal job out there with the defensive line right now, getting those guys ready for the season.
Coach Wright and his staff will build a program that the school and its fans can be very proud of, both on and off the field.
I think we can sell Northwest to these high school seniors. I think this is a place that they will come to when they compare us to other junior colleges. When you look at our facilities, when you look at our town, when you look at our location, look at the commitment that the school is making to the students, look at the commitment that this coaching staff is going to invest in all the incoming freshmen, that we're going to put a lot of time in those guys and not only try to make them a better football player, make them a better student, make them a better son. We want to make them a complete person when they come here. I just think we have a lot to sell here. And if you look at the facilities, look at the academic support here, I think that all kind of backs up what we're selling.
Coach Wright sees a very bright future for the Northwest football program. The goals, both short-term and long-term, are the same.
They both kind of the same thing, win. We want to win as many as we can in the short term. We want to win as many as we can in the long term. If you look at kind of what we're doing strategically in the long run, our plan here is to build the type of program where a kid comes here for a year or two and then moves on to a Division I program. And we want to put some proof in the pudding for the recruiting classes in the future for us to be able to take some black and white evidence in there and say, if you come to Northwest at your position, this is what we've done in the back in the previous years for guys in the same situation as you 2 years ago. So we want to be able to prove that. So we're working really hard in the classroom with our academic staff here on campus to make sure that not only we develop these guys as athletes, but we make them really good students and get them an associate's degree.
Coach Wright's excitement about being back in Northwest and in Senatobia is shared by his wife Brooke and their son Mason.
I don't think Mason has a clue what's going on, which is good. But I kind of like that. He's an escape. But Brooke's extremely excited. She's worked in Batesville for the last 10 years, and we have a lot of close personal contacts there. There's a lot of people that are rooting for not only for me but for her too, and I just don't want to let them down. We want to build a really good program up here.
Mason's excitement spills over to other things besides football.
I think he's about as fired up as a 3-year-old can get. He's pretty fired up over macaroni and cheese at night too, so I don't know if he can make the relation yet.
With Coach Wright at the helm, the future is very bright for the Northwest football program. The season gets underway August 28th against the Jones County Bobcats. Kickoff is set for 6:30 in Senatobia.
Right.